Let's talk energy. Welcome to the podcast. Changing energy, shifting perception. Energy is changing on this planet. The earth, the vibration, and us as humans. This podcast is to inform, enlighten, and give you different perspectives on this fifth dimensional energy, and to help you navigate your next exciting chapter. Connect with me via social media in the links provided, and I'd love to meet you. Share this podcast with your friends and enjoy the chat. Now, let's get on with today's show. Hello and welcome to the show. Today we're talking about transformation. And what a blessing it is to be alive right now at this time, as you are. The entire energy system and vibration of this universe is shifting and has shifted into a new way of being, and things are really changing at a rapid rate. The Earth's crystalline grid has started to unlock more energetic secrets, and as we all begin feeling this, we can often close ourselves off to the new. Fear arises and we can choose to stay there, or we can move forward into the unknown. And you know, the unknown is only fearful until we know it. So this generation of life, known as Earth and humanity, has now started to really turn a corner, an energetic corner. We are being guided and shown the way in a variety of mediums, but on the whole, it is your divine self that is receiving these messages and the new energy, and you are being called to create a new way of being. Our generational conditioning is bringing up a lot of fear right now, but I want you to know it is not real for you anymore. We no longer have to be controlled by the world leaders. We no longer have to be controlled by religious dogma or the rules and conditions of society. We no longer have to be what we have been taught by our parents and teachers and their parents and teachers and their parents and teachers, and it goes on and on. We don't have to be victim to this 3D controlling attitude anymore. We have the opportunity right now to stand up like never before into our own divine truth and be that unique spirit and human that we are, without the fears, or should I say without the fears controlling us. Because there is a contrast in life, and we will have love and fear, but it's when fear controls us that we stay there and we don't see the love. So how do we alleviate the major fears that arise within us? Those fears of criticism, judgment, condemnation, anger, unworthiness, no value, feeling unlovable. Well, the first thing you can do is start with yourself. And, you know, we really need to do the work, and the greatest and most often the most challenging work is when we work on these things within ourselves. You see, it's the old 3D conditioning that we look at these things and blame others. Yeah? You know, our life isn't going so well. Yeah, we can judge and criticize and condemn and be angry because of what others have done. Take the responsibility off us. But if you really want things to change, you have to turn inward and understand that all of those fears and those feelings of judgment, anger, unworthiness are opportunities to step up and really understand who you are as a soul and a spirit, and your journey here. So we see on the outside a reflection of how we may be feeling, how we are being asked to look at and clear, or something we may not have known about our thoughts and subconscious chatter. These things all come up as experiences, people, situations, and physical issues. And, the best way to really be okay with this, and it might take a little bit of a perception stretch for you, the best way really to think of all these things is to understand that within us, in our innate and in our soul, we're looking for the remembrance of the connection to all there is and to who we really are. So within us, on a sometimes conscious level, but mostly on a subconscious or unconscious level, we are calling forth all these experiences and these people and these situations, or any physical issues. We are calling forth all of these things to allow us to clear a certain fear or an old pattern or a belief. And when you can actually view it from that perception, it actually becomes really joyful. It becomes a game waking up every morning, right? Wow, what will today bring? Well, how will I expand today, right? Rather than waking up in the morning and being in that energy of, oh, I wonder what's going to show up today that I have to deal with, right? It's a totally different energy. And if you have that lower energy of wondering who's going to show up that you can blame today, who's going to show up that you can criticize, who's going to show up to criticize you, and all in all those negative, energy vibrations, you're going to get more of it, because you will get what you ask for. So, even if you think you're not asking for it, and you're getting up in the morning and saying, oh, what awful things is this day going to bring? The day will bring you awful things, right? Or it can bring you awesome things. It just depends on what you ask for and the energy behind what you're asking. So the first step really to moving past these old energies is to really recognize them and acknowledge them. Not the old way of blame and resistance. So to do any kind of self-inquiry does take some practice, and you can't be forced to do it. Self-inquiry is something you really need to be enthusiastic about, because then the correct answers will come, the answers that you can change, right? So the step of doing self-inquiry is empowering. So when something does come up during the day, the self-inquiry step is to ask what the lesson is. Why did this come up? What do I need to know right now? Yeah, and actually, first thing you can ask is this true? Is what I'm feeling true? Or is it an old pattern? Is the way I'm reacting true? Or is that an old pattern? Do I need to react like this? Can I react in a different way? It's all those self-inquiry questions that will really lead you to a far more empowered path. And so after the self-inquiry, and after, you really get down to what the actual issue is. So for instance, if somebody does upset you at work, or should I say, if you come across somebody who makes you react, and you think that they've made you upset in some way or angry, just ask yourself, why am I feeling angry about this? Why am I reacting like this? Because it's really nothing to do with the other person. They've just brought that up within you so you can look at it and do those self-inquiry questions. And your reaction really is up to you. Yeah, I mean, you can make it real or not. Whatever feeling you have coming up is real, but it's probably not what you're reacting on. So the self-inquiry questions are really vital to understanding why you're reacting a certain way in certain situations. And it will really allow you to react in a different way and maybe not react at all, right? Maybe act in an empowered way. And just on a side note here, what really helped me here was to get my lower chakras in balance, especially the sacral chakra in this instance, because this is where all the drama queen tendencies were with me, and the over dramatizing everything and the overreacting. So I really did some work on my sacral chakra, and it helped a lot for me to be empowered to make, take better actions rather than react. So, and after these steps, thankfulness is really important, and an open heart. And it really will allow you to have those feelings move through you and past the old fears. In fact, if you feel no self-criticism, no self-judgment, no self-condemnation, no anger, if you feel worthy, if you feel valuable, if you feel love, you will actually attract those things rather than the other. And it is in this truth that the fears will dissipate. But the self-inquiry really is important for this transformation to take place. Because, if you are in that judgment pattern, and it's usually about judging yourself, everything that shows up in other people is something that we're doing within ourselves. So if you really are judging other people, or if people are judging you, have a look at where you're judging yourself. And when you can get to that energy of no self-judgment, I can pretty much guarantee you that there'll be less people showing up that you want to judge or that are judging you. So, the fears of all those things really are old beliefs, old patterns, and old lessons and things we've been taught, by people who've also been taught that. So we can break this cycle. We can change this. And it really is just about self-awareness. So, and I have to say, there is actually no obligation for you to do any of this. You can stay exactly where you are. You don't have to consciously move past this and into a new way of being. It's entirely your choice. We have free will on this planet as a human, and we don't have to evolve, although we will. But you don't have to do the work in this lifetime if you don't want to. It's purely up to you. But I know that if you're listening to this program, that you are ready to step up and do the work, and you really want to change the way your life looks, the way your reality is. So, you have to understand that the body also is letting you know daily that it is not thriving in the old energy. Your daily experiences are letting you know that you are different and not a match to where you have been. And your heart is calling you to truly connect to the larger part of yourself, that which is here as your guides and also still behind the veil. Transformation is taking place, and we can choose to be aware and consciously take part in it, or flow with the breeze and get knocked around. I know which way I'd prefer, and I'm growing strong roots so that I can grow massive, tall branches. And you can do the same. I hope this has helped you with your transformation, and I'll see you next time.